Hi everybody, JP Bushey here with Ontario Out of Doors, and I wanted to show you guys a really underutilized and deadly effective technique for summer walleyes. It's the mid to end of August here right now. We're in central Ontario up on Lake Nipissing, and as fishermen we tend to steal and grab back and forth between different species and different techniques, and one of the things that you can sort of scoop from your smallmouth fishing buddies is the drop shot rig. The drop shot rig has revolutionized deep water smallmouth bass fishing all across the world, and I'm here to tell you that as a summertime walleye technique, it's outstanding as well. There's a couple little differences and modifications that we'll get to really quickly, where it's a little different than what you're used to for smallmouth, but you can really tailor this presentation to catching a lot of walleye. You talk to most people who drop shot for smallmouth and they'll stick with the lighter spinning gear. We use light gear too. This rod's about 6'6", a medium to medium light action, and it's a bait casting rod, and that's not what people typically drop shot with, but as we move along here you'll see why. Obviously with the bait casting rod comes a bait casting reel, and these are a little bit harder to find on the market these days, but what you want to look for is a reel that's got a flip and switch on it. And the reason a flip and switch is so good is it allows you to release line to follow the contours of the bottom using one hand. And the way that a flip and switch works on your reel is, rather than pushing the button, making our cast, and then engaging the reel to begin picking up line, we're able to set up our reel so that we can engage and disengage simply by using one finger, or in this case our thumb. And that makes following the bottom and working along for walleye very, very efficient. Doesn't matter if I'm operating with my bow mount electric motor at the front or my big stern mounted electric motor in the back. I'm able to literally fish one-handed, watch my electronics, and move along very, very efficiently. Very, very thin, no stretch braided line. Really works well for keeping your rig vertical in some of this deeper water, 20, 25, sometimes 30 plus feet of water. This is 20-pound test braid, and it has the equivalent diameter of, I believe, 4-pound monofilament. So it's very, very thin, and that allows us to stay vertical. A lot of the time what we're doing is we're driving around with our electronics looking for little clumps of walleye and dropping this drop shot rig straight on top of them. And that flip and switch and thin braided line and the shorter rod helps us it's almost like ice fishing. We're literally fishing vertically right over the side of the boat. On the business end, we keep things fairly similar to the bass guys. There's a lot of different knots and hookups you can use for your hook. Bar none, the most low maintenance and effective are these pre-made spin shot style hooks. This is a VMC spin shot actually, and I believe that's about a number 2 or size 2. And then we come down about 18 to 20 inches to our weight. And here's where things get a little bit different. Unlike the finesse smallmouth weights, the little drop shot weights, we're fishing up to and over 1 ounce of weight. And this weight's a little bit different. It's an actual walleye sinker, and it's got a rattle in it. And unlike smallmouth fishing where we sort of creep along and try to hide our presentation along the bottom very gently, people don't give walleye enough credit for how aggressive they are and how attracted they are to disturbance along the bottom. And I literally drive around clunking and plunking this thing into the bottom, shaking it in front of the fish, stirring up the bottom, fishing it very aggressively. Lure-wise, don't be afraid of live bait. A medium leech, half a night crawler, a medium minnow, all very good. I fish a lot of plastics, and there's two kind of schools of thought here. There's the bait fish style or the bait fish profile plastics. I don't know if you can see those. Really tend to dominate my selection. There's a variety of stuff you can use, but I like sticking with the bait fish. And some of them are very, very soft and very, very supple. And others have a little more stiffness to them, and they're not quite as stiff. In the case of a stiffer plastic, this is a Trigger X one, and this one works very, very well. Very, very good scent on it. What I'll do is I'll actually thread the entire thing onto the hook as you would with a twister tail or anything else. When you start using the very soft, delicate finesse style plastics, I didn't come up with this tip. This is, again, something I borrowed from our friends in bass fishing, but what I'll do, a lot of people just take it and nose hook it and run it like this, okay? And that's not bad, but what will happen is as you jerk and pop and work this thing aggressively along the bottom, making all that noise, that lure's got the ability to flip and flop and not go where you want it. Try this. Come up underneath the chin, and almost like we're hooking a live minnow, we're going to come in a little ways and come out, and we're left with this. We're just going to poke, this one's a little chewed up, but we're going to run it just like that. And you'll find it doesn't twist around nearly as badly. And yes, plastics are absolutely as effective as live bait. And if you get down there and make some noise, fish some big weights, look for the fish in your electronics, you'll find that drop shotting is very, very effective for walleyes. Definitely not just for smallmouth bass.